Morning, it's Yvonne here to do your What's Cracking reading. We're going to use the Ethereal Tarot for your reading, which looks like that, and we'll pull a card from Gods and Titans. Let's just have a quick catch up. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. We've had a whole lot of new subscribers come on board, so welcome. Glad you're enjoying the readings. And for those of you who've been with me for longer, thank you so much. Every time I see your tags, I think you've been around for a really long time. I often wonder how people would feel if I sort of called them out with their tags just to say thank you for following, but I think it's really important for me to acknowledge you. So if you've been around for a while, please understand that I do know you've been there. Absolutely. If you're interested in a personal reading with me, I am doing personal readings over the Christmas break. The only days I'm not available are Boxing Day, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and New Year's Day. I'm going to take those 3 days off. Do a bit of catching up with family, so that'll be really nice. If you're interested in a membership or just supporting the channel, I'd be most grateful, but you can find the buttons for that underneath the YouTube picture. All right. I took 2 of the hardest decks to shuffle when I went to pull decks out because I thought I'll try something new. Both of them are absolutely beautiful. Both of them really a lot harder to shuffle. And that was funny because all tarot decks were big to start with, and we've seen them sort of shrink over time, which is probably good for the people selling them too, because they'd probably save on paper and sell more. But for me shuffling, as much as this is one of my favourites, the shuffling is hard. So we have the Sun card coming out, and if you've been watching me for a while, you know there was sort of a few weeks ago when the Sun card came out quite a lot. It is a beautiful card. It's the most beautiful card in the deck because even in reverse, it still has a good meaning, and it takes away the energy of sort of other cards around it if there are sort of more challenging cards around it. So it is the card of Leo, but means that you've got some sort of starting where you are feeling childlike, you're feeling on top of everything. You know, you may be feeling extremely happy at the moment. Maybe because I'm reading now, it's because of Christmas, spending time with your family. If you don't celebrate Christmas, it's still a great break just to spend time with people you love. Whatever it is for you, the Sun card is definitely saying there's a lot of happiness here. Now we do have behind that the 8 of Pentacles. So this is quite interesting. Are you feeling happy because you've been doing a lot of self-work? Are you starting to sort of feel good about things? Because I know when I'm really focused on doing my own thing, I can feel great. So if I've got the music playing, I've been doing something like meditation, exercise, or even just listening to things, because music is a natural high. Long as you're listening to natural high music, because it can sort of pull you down a little bit if you start listening to songs that make you sad. But certainly like having music playing, you know, good music playing while you're doing the housework gives you a nice feeling of uplift. But that is the work card. Now it might be for some of you, because we do have the Lovers card here, that you might be sort of feeling like it's good to invest in yourself at the moment. Maybe you're feeling really on top of things. With the Lovers card, I feel like somehow or another, either you might have just met someone or you're about to meet someone, possibly Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. A lot of this energy is coming around at the moment too, but let's just get in a little bit further and then I'll pull the energies together. We do have the 10 of Wands, which sort of tells me that you've been on a journey and you've come to the end of a journey. And there we have the Page of Cups. Feels like you've had some sort of love offer here. Star card coming through with the Well. All right. There is a feeling here that either you've met somebody possibly through work, or you've made contact with somebody that is sort of making you feel really good about yourself. I like it. I think it's really good. I think even if you're not going to, have a superb relationship with somebody, um, sometimes just meeting people who give you that lift is fantastic. And I used to think, especially when I was sort of really a lot more unaware of who I am, and I talked about this to somebody the other day, because a lot of people are very proud of being empaths. Not that you shouldn't be proud of yourself, absolutely, but that empath energy can be an absolute menace. Just excuse me. Can be an absolute menace to us, because we can take on energies around us. We can really find people attract to us because we have a high vibrating energy. If you're one of those people that, even if you're out in the public, on a public train, walking through the streets, people will naturally talk to you, naturally smile at you, all of those sort of things. So they sense your energy. If you're unaware, what can happen is when you get into places where there are a lot of people, or you get into places where a lot of energy is required, you can feel quite depleted. I've almost been at tears when I've come out of a place because it's depleted me so dramatically. I'm home, lay down, read a book, whatever, just to sort of pick up my energy again. I learned a long time ago how to use protection to stop myself from doing that. But the one thing I learned really hard was learning where my energy finished and that person's energy started, because I would become so absorbed in people's energy, I'd forget those boundaries. Those are the people sometimes I would walk away from absolutely feeling shattered. I'd have nothing left. It is not their fault that sometimes people just are energy vampires, and it's really hard. It's not that I didn't like them. It's not that I didn't want to be around them, not at all. But I really needed to separate my energy from theirs. And that was a big lesson for me, because I'd find, I would go, I don't know, work, for example, where you've got someone who's quite negative or a little bit toxic, and you're trying to sort of work with them, and your energy depletes. And by the end of the day, I'd have nothing left. So I've really learned that. And I feel like here, I want to say to you, somebody's coming into your life that when you walk away from them, you're going to feel really energized by them. And my good friends that I spend time with, that's how we all feel when we've been around each other. Like, it just sort of raises our vibration. So, some of the time when we were going out and doing things like platform readings, I would get everybody up and dancing, because that is a really good way to raise your vibration. But if you're doing things like that and you're raising your vibration, I feel like somebody has either reminded you who you are or reminded you something about yourself, because I see you not just healing through that sun energy, but really feeling good about yourself at the moment. So let's see why. I feel like it's somebody coming in, but again, it might not necessarily be romantic. You've got the Ten of Pentacles coming straight out here with the Tower, Six of Cups. All right, you may have had somebody that you've known before, or somebody that somebody's walked into your life. Let's say that. Could be somebody from your past here with the Six of Cups, or somebody that you had a really close connection with. I feel really strongly that this Tower doesn't have a real negative energy. So I feel like somehow or another, maybe you're seeing this person differently to what you did before, because sometimes with the Tower, we really have to strip things back and rethink them out. I'm trying to think of a really good example, but I do know one. There was a particular actor on television, if anybody remembers him, Billy Zane, and he used to aggravate me. I find it, there's a few actors that I find really, I don't know, just annoying when I watch them, and I find it hard to get past. We're all human. Anyway, I did not like him at all. And one day my daughter said, "Why don't you like him?" And I said, "I don't know. He's up there with a few other people I don't like very much." She said, "I want to show you something." So she played a video of him in an interview. And he was just the nicest person. He was so funny. He was so engaging, completely changed my mind about him. He was just very, very different to what I expected. And I think some actors you see like that in their sort of more down time, sort of relaxed attitudes, and they just can change everything you see about a person. But that's actually happened to me with people I've met, where I've found initially, I found they've, they don't seem to gel with me at all. And then I've got to know them and I've thought, why, I wonder why I was so uncomfortable with them to start with. But again, those are those initial just judgments that you make that, sort of possibly are good to be there, but not always. I feel like that's what we're talking about here. I have the Emperor coming through, so I feel Three of Cups here and the Magician. I've seen this energy so many times over the last couple of weeks. There's almost this energy of perhaps you've crossed paths with somebody in the past and really may have made like, no, never mind. Like they've sort of fleeted past you and you haven't thought about it. But I feel like you're getting to know someone now and that energy is really changing. You may have been around this person or worked with them in the past. You may have found them a little bit prickly. You may not have liked them. And I don't think that you really got to know them. But now they're sort of here in a different capacity, and it's like you're really understanding that this person brings you a lot of joy. Again, it could be romantic, but it doesn't have to be, because I'm not necessarily talking about romance with my own experiences. So it could be somebody you're working with, because I do see Temperance coming through, see high vibration. We do have the Seven of Pentacles over the Magician, so maybe it is somebody that you wanted to see again. Page of Swords. I'm just going to pull a card from the middle of the deck to go on that, and I have the Fool card. All right. So what I'm feeling here is that somebody is coming into your life that maybe you've crossed paths with before, but maybe never paid them any attention. Maybe you never really liked them. Maybe you just found them annoying or whatever else. But I feel like there's almost this change of energy here, and you're sort of meeting somebody here perhaps you've had a crossed path with before. This person was quite obviously a little bit annoying or just did not gel with you at all. But all of a sudden, this person is really sort of, I don't know, really appealing to you at a different level. And I think sometimes people can be so standoffish because we're sort of giving out that energy too. So remember that, I'm sitting here, all talking about my experience, but maybe I made them feel uncomfortable too. I'm, I guess for the most part, I'm very open and, generous with my energy. But there are times when I meet people when my butterflies sort of flick around in my stomach and I think there's something about this person that just doesn't sit right with me. But I feel like somehow or another, something's changed here. If it is romantic, there is a brand new beginning. I feel like you might find that before long you're swapping numbers and talking, because there seems to be quite a lot of sort of communication coming through. So perhaps this person is interested in getting to know you further. But if it's not romantic for you, it could be just somebody that you've instantly, I've had that. It's just beautiful when you instantly gel with someone and, you feel like you want to be around them more, or you feel like you have so much in common with them and you want to spend more time with them. We do have the Sun. So this sort of feels like it could be a work experience, but again, it could be because you've been doing work on yourself. I do have the Lovers card here, but always remember the Lovers card doesn't necessarily talk about a love relationship. It very often talks about some sort of choice that you need to make. I do have the Queen of Cups, so I do feel this person is a water sign. It could be, for example, that you have a real interest in tarot, all things esoteric, and you've met someone who is close to where you need to be and is very interested in the same things. So there's some sort of ending, but I feel like this ending is putting down, especially with the Tower here, some old version of this person that maybe you thought they were, and something is turning around completely for you here. So we do have after that the Page of Cups. So there's definitely some sort of love offer here with the Star. So I'm feeling like, especially with the Well there, that there is some deep sort of conversations going on, or possibly some deep things being brought to the surface that you're talking to this person about. Sometimes you can feel so comfortable with someone. Like my really good friend, like I can talk to her about anything. It just is natural for me to do that. We've known each other for centuries. And I can talk to her about anything, but when I walk away, I always feel really good about being in her energy. But I can tell you now, I don't feel that way with everybody. Some people I walk away from, and it's not that I don't want to have anything to do with them. I certainly wouldn't be around them if that were the case. But I just feel that I'm perhaps spending or investing more energy than what they are. All right, sacrifice. Mithras. Let's see what Mithras says here. I have to go through the alphabet. Do you all do that? To find where the M is. Examine the balance between healthy sacrifice and being totally selfless. Consider establishing a code of honor and harmony. I'm just going to pull out what I need here. Mithras can be invoked to assist you with maintaining balance in situations where you may choose to sacrifice your own needs for a time, or for when you wish to retain honor and fairness in any battle you are facing. So I feel like here, it says here, he may be validating the sacrifices you are making and supporting you in your work. However, there must be balance in this. If this is a work situation for you, you know, that the spirit is saying that, you know, some of us continually sacrifice our own needs. And as I said, I did that when I was younger. I'm much better at it now. And becoming selfless. So what starts to happen is we start to deplete our own energy, and then we don't want to be around anybody. And that's not good either. So you've got to try and find that balance between that. I feel like in this particular scenario, what you're being asked is to work out who does give that energy to you and who does take it away from you. And is it worth you spending time with them if you really feel uncomfortable in their energy? All right, I'll leave you with that. Thank you.